Hello, hello, hello. It is Lynette Renee Dobie with another upload, and this is one that you will not want to miss. So go ahead and do me a favor and hit subscribe, and also hit the bell notification icon so that way you can be notified whenever I post a new video. So let's get right into it. This video is entitled Fraud on a Friday, and I have to warn my fellow writers and other entrepreneurs about this. So I was nearly a victim of fraud, but through God's grace and also quick action on my part, I was able to turn it around. So let me give you the story. On September 27th, I got an inbound inquiry to my email address from someone asking me to assist on a writing project. The person who was onboarding me, so to speak, or coordinating with me was a third-party event planner, and they were working on behalf of a client, or so they said. And the thing about it, y'all, is that they used all of the industry jargon that we as writers are accustomed to hearing or to reading in this case. So she mentioned word count of the document. She gave me all the subheads of the document. She told me she needed footnotes of the document. She told me she would pay per word, which is an industry standard for us writers. We know that in some cases on projects we get paid per word. She had it all. So I did not think anything was amiss. So what she said was the sponsor, that's who she called her employer, the sponsor would like to pay me via Electra Funds transfer. And so I was like, okay, I do have a client who pays me that way. And I know it's customary that you give your routing number and your account number. And I didn't mind giving it to my business account because who I bank with, I had difficulties logging into their system one time, so I was not concerned with them having my information. And that's how my other client pays me, like I said. So I sent that over to her. But I guess when she and whatever scam team she has discovered who it is I bank with, I guess they were like, darn, we're going to have to come another way with this one. So what she did was she said, you know what, actually on second thought, the sponsor wants to pay you with a check. Is that okay? And so I said, yeah, that's no problem. So she said, just send me over your address and we'll do it that way. So I was like, okay, cool. So I sent over my address and I waited for a couple of days and I didn't get a check. A week later, she sent me an email saying, hey, the check is on its way to you. Just want to let you know. So definitely just be on the lookout for it. And when you receive it, just confirm with me via email. So every single exchange that we had was over email. It was never over the phone, no Zoom, no WebEx or anything like that. It was always via email. That was mistake number one on my part. You need to reach out and touch and look the folks that you're going to be doing business with. I know that now. It will never happen again. Number two, another red flag that I didn't know at the time was that the check came to me and it was not for the amount we discussed. It was actually for more. It was $6,500. And what she said was that the sponsor of hers wanted to go ahead and extend the project and to do 2 phases of the project. So I was already confirmed for phase 1 and they wanted me to do phase 2. Now the scope of a project can change. I wasn't thinking anything of it. So I said, that's totally fine. So I told them once the check clears, then I can go ahead and start working on the project. And I look forward to hearing more information about phase 2. So I take the check to the bank, y'all. I'm none the wiser. And I take it and I go to the ATM because the line in the branch was so long. I was like, I do not feel like waiting. So I went ahead and put that check right into the ATM. It was accepted, no problem. The funds were in my account the next day. So I emailed her back and said, hey, we're good to go to start working and keep me posted. So I went ahead and began working on that phase 1. I got it done. And then she emails me again. She's like, hey, Lynette, I'm so sorry. The scope of the project has changed yet again. The sponsor says that they don't want to do both phases now. They want to do it in January. So can you please send me the difference back and keep $100 for yourself for the inconvenience? And so I was like, oh. And the email went on to say, we want you to please send it either via USPS or you can send it via a FedEx money order, or you can just send it by Zelle so that way you don't have to have the headache. And so I was like, I wonder if I should just send it by Zelle. But I had told my best friend about it who owns his own business as well. He was like, the way they pay you is the way they get the money back. I was like, okay. So I told her I would get her check back or whatever. And so she was like, okay. And then she begins to be testy. Red flag number 3. She was like, well, I need it pretty soon because my sponsor is upset. She thinks I made a mistake. Da, da, da. But wait a minute. This was the same sponsor who told you to have me go ahead and do phase 2. So I was like, y'all gonna wait. So I told her I will get it back to her when I get it back to her. And then my best friend was like, yeah, don't let her hustle you to get that money back. He was like, she'll get it when she gets it. So I finished up the deliverable because I'm still not thinking anything. And then I went back to my bank and I purchased a cashier's check, because cashier's checks are like cash. And my understanding at the time was if there's any issue with it, they could stop payment on it. Lesson number 4, they cannot stop payment on a cashier's check. So if I had wanted to do that and it would have been no issue, then I would have had to get a U.S. Postal Service money order. They can stop payment on those because, they're linked. So anyway, neither here nor there. I just want to give that little tidbit of information. So I go ahead and get the cashier's check, and then I send it and a copy of the receipt, took a picture of the receipt to send it to her. And then I told her, I said, you should have it tomorrow. Now, God was on my side because I sent that thing Thursday morning early, okay? Because the timeline makes a huge difference with this story. I wake up the next morning, Friday 13th, to a negative balance in my account. Everything is zeroed out. I called my bank immediately and I was like, what's going on? And they said, apparently the check that I cashed was fraudulent. I was like, y'all, my heart sank. It really did. So I was like, oh my gosh. I cried for about 3 minutes, and then something was like, nah, you gotta go, baby. You gotta figure this out. So I got quiet and still. I prayed and I meditated, and I was led to Google how to retrieve a package. I didn't know you could do that with the United States Postal Service, but I was led to do it. So I found on their website that you can actually indeed intercept a package. I'm telling everybody and their mother about this because I didn't know this, and maybe you don't know either, so it can help you. Now, there are certain qualifiers to see if that package can be intercepted, specifically where it is in its transit history. My package was still in my home state. I was like, oh, thank goodness. So all I did was submit the intercept request. It was $17. And they told me they were on it. On it, when I say that, I mean getting the package back to me. So I just kept checking it. Now, mind you, this was on the eve of my birthday weekend. My birthday was on the 15th, and this is what I had to deal with. But hey, I'm grateful because on the 15th, I got the best birthday present ever. I got confirmation my package had been intercepted. I got my package back either that Monday or Tuesday. I want to say it was the 16th, so that's Monday. Oh, it was such a sense of relief. Now, in the meantime, during the weekend, while I was waiting for the package, instead of celebrating my birthday, I was preemptively doing things. I was calling the bank, telling them what happened. Outside of that call that I made on Friday when they told me that the check was fraudulent, I was calling them and, seeing what I needed to do on my end. I've submitted a claim for fraud. They had me do another declaration of loss document, which in hindsight, I don't think was germane to my case, but they kept telling me to do that after I told them the situation. So I just was waiting. Well, I did get the check back, and then I took it to the bank and they were like, okay, cool. And I showed them all the emails and everything. And then after I left the bank, I had to be on the phone with them for another hour with their corporate office to close my business account down. And I got that done. I was like, oh my gosh, everything is done. Thank God. Fast forward to a week and a half later. I'm none the wiser, y'all. I don't know what's going on. I was told by my banking institution that my debit card privileges for my banking account had been revoked because they thought I had complicity with the fraud. How frustrating was that? I'm getting tired just talking about it. Y'all can probably see I'm getting tired. I feel drained. So what I had to do was, in addition to submitting the claim, to showing the lady in the branch my emails, to speaking to the person after I left the branch, once I gave them the check back, I had to fill out this whole long document, and I went step by step. And I told them what happened. I don't know this woman. I did everything that I could because I really like my bank and I want to keep that relationship there. So we'll see what happens there, and maybe I'll give you all an update when I find out. But I have some key takeaways for you. because I have learned so much from this situation, and it will definitely change the way I do business. So I pray that this helps somebody else. Number one, you may already do this, but whether you do a 15-minute consultation, 20, or whatever the case is, get the person on the phone or get them on video so you can see them. Because this person, we never talked on the phone. It was only via email. That should have made my spidey senses go off, but I've done business like that before. But moving forward, no one gets that benefit of the doubt. I need to see you. I need to sense your energy. I need to feel who you are, okay? So maybe that's something that you will do as well. Number two, if you do take checks, do not begin work until 7 days after you've received that check. And if they want a refund, tell them they can get a refund 14 to 21 days afterwards, because you need to make sure that that check clears, okay? Number three, if you have an inbound inquiry, ask them, how did you find out about me, or how did you hear about me? Because they emailed me directly to my website. I don't have my website anywhere, directly through my email address, and I do not have it on my website. That's what I was about to say. So I don't know how they got it. And I asked them, who could I thank for the referral? She ignored that question. And that should have been something to stop me in my tracks. But oh well. Number four, know that you have the power in the situation, okay? Just do a Google search. You never know what you can find. Had I not found that page on the United States Postal Service website, I would not have known. So realize that you are not powerless in this situation. So get to action. And then number five, you just want to ensure when you do talk to your banking institution about it, give them all the details. Sometimes I feel like I overshare, but evidently I didn't do it in that time, because they were like, no ma'am, we think you're complicit. So whenever you file a claim, if it takes a full page and a half, put all the details in there. Upload everything. I had taken pictures of both checks, the one I received and the one that I sent back. So make sure that you give all the pertinent information. And then if you have any questions about anything, hit me in the comments. But I just want to make sure you got those 4 tips to help make sure that you do not get scammed, because trust me, it was not fun. I'm still having to deal with it. How many weeks later? It's almost been a month later, because my birthday was October 15th. It's now, at the time of me recording this video, November 15th. So that's all that I got. I wish you many peace and blessings, and just know, keep your eyes open, and if something doesn't feel right, trust that. Oh, and lastly, I have a link in the caption here of the video, and if you'd like to talk to me about your writing career, or if you're a consumer who needs writing services, hit me up. Also, I'm launching a course. I'm so excited. It is designed to teach entrepreneurs, creatives, anyone who desires to write a nonfiction book. It gives you the skills to know how to write your own nonfiction book. So I'm super excited about that. So go ahead and contact me. You can find me on www.rightwayconsulting.net. And then I will see you in the next upload. All right, bye.